Jim Marshall is running the wrong way.
I've never seen this before in my life.
Pass is intercepted.
No good.
There it is at 22. Rodgers. He's picked. And this is
just going to jump right into it. You said you like the red zone, man.
Well, it's blue zone. I like the fact that, you're kind of sad watching it, right? So, or traditionally, but clever name. Love it.
I asked Asher, I was like, what's the opposite of red? Pink? And he's like, blue, man. So worked out perfectly. And shout out to our newest team player for creating that. Like literally thought of the idea yesterday. So I was like, dude, we have to do that. So he said the gray zone, blue zone is what we ended up with, but would not have done it. So I guess we're kind of sponsored that episode on some levels. It's Hummy Snacks. What's his team name?
The Hummyverse Hanks.
The Hummyverse Hanks. Do you want to really give this a go? Like, you said you love the red zone. Do you want to try to act like Scott? Don't call me Chris Hansen.
Scott, don't call me Chris. Yeah, let's give it a shot, man.
All right, man. This is all you.
All right, Rodgers fades back. Jack Jones steps in front, and he's going to the house. Patriots take the lead right before halftime, and obviously gives Aaron Rodgers a little bit to think about heading into the locker room.
Interception and the touchback.
Yes, you got to transition right nice to it, right?
Oh, you want me to do you're not taking a stab at this one?
That's how you do it, right? So transitioning right next to it. I don't watch the red zone, right? So it's the first.
Well, I don't have the teleprompter there telling me what's coming up next, man.
I don't have the teleprompter either, but I mean that's relevant, man. Like literally, this is the first time that I've watched red zone in years, and it's only because of this league and this game is why I did it. So yeah, man, I was expecting it to be a little bit better from both of us, I guess, to start. We need Linda in here doing it.
We're no Jim Hansen, that's for sure. Yeah, Linda would be great at this, actually. Improv comedy. Kind of like her Steelers team. Rough loss for them this week, man. I mean, who the hell thought the Jets were going to march into Pittsburgh and fly out of there with the victory?
Well, what's cool about it, man, is like we said, the first 300 points, like everybody that gets to 300 points is going to get an extra playing card. But the first to 300, the very first, is going to get that VSP giveaway. So we were really close, right? Hoppy team, very hoppy team. He was like 60 points away and was rolling right into it. Has the jokes for his win-loss team. Of course, they lose. Linda loses. And here we are for Trash Talk Tuesday. But he was really close, man. What do the standings look like now?
Yeah, so we are pretty close at the top. I mean, a lot of the top teams didn't really perform that well this week, which, again, leaves that door wide open to reach that 300 mark. Hoppy, I think, only accumulated close to about 20 points this week. So he's still under the 270 mark. And, just tallying everything up for the first 4 weeks, including some new members that popped in this week who had their points calculated for the first 3 weeks, we're about 14 players deep that have over 200 points. So that being said, if you look at the standings this week, Team Christikins eclipsed the 100-point threshold, which means that, at a very bare minimum, there's 14 players in the hunt to eclipse that 300 mark, just based on them getting, 100 points this coming week.
Yeah, man.
And this...
Go ahead, buddy. No, I'm off my game today, so it's all you. It's all you.
No, I was just gonna say it's an interesting week to have this race too, because this is the last week before we start having buys become a factor, and teams will have their bye week, and I guess unfantasy team owners are going to be forced to make decisions on their lineups. Those who fail to set their lineup will not receive points for those teams after that game starts. So just make sure you pay attention to the NFL schedule. Make sure you know what teams are on a bye week. We'll add some elements onto our site as well, the unfan.xyz, just to let people know which teams will not be playing. in that given week. But, this is going to be one of those final weeks to start catching up towards the top of the standings before you have to make some really important decisions.
Yeah, man. I'm very excited to see how everybody is. It's a really close race, man. There's a lot of people like 0.1 behind each other. We've seen that play out all the whole time we've been playing this. The top offensive cards I was looking at earlier, Jacksonville, and this is why Christikins killed it, because she's got like a whole team full of Lions and Jacksonville. So Jacksonville had 47 points or so, followed
almost
by
48 points.
Yeah, followed by Pittsburgh right next to that stuff. So if they have those for an offensive card, you were at a huge advantage because offensive cards are putting up some points here. So win-loss has always been the standard, the card that you want, because you're either going to get 25 points or you're going to lose 5 points. Or if you don't play something in a bye week, you lose points, which might be good for you, dude. You might just want to sit it out a week. But offensive cards have really performed real well. Any of these cards. So here's the top offensives: Jacksonville, Pittsburgh, Chicago. This was from last week. Defense was Detroit, which I traded. I had an epic trade with Team Blackhammer, and Tampa Bay. Those are the two top defensive cards. I got to put my teleprompter in front of me next time because I keep looking over this way. Special teams was Houston was 17 points and Washington was 16. And then penalties was Washington, right? So I'm trying to stack my team with Washington. So what we got?
It's a fair bet, man. I mean, they had an unfortunate injury with their running back that they drafted, right? So like he got shot a couple weeks before the season started. So they're without that big piece of their game plan. A couple receivers stepped up, but for the most part, they're just getting manhandled at every level of the game, offense, defense, and special teams. I have a couple of their cards. I've been reluctant to play them because they've had a couple, division games, and I'm very leery about division games because no matter what, it could be a coin toss, and some of those teams get kind of amped up for those types of games. But one of the cool things about watching some of the statistics play out on OpenSea, we just revamped the statistics and how it could be viewed, right? So you can actually go to your card, which this one just happens to be in the free agency pool. And in the statistics, you can actually see where this card ranks versus the top card. So you can actually see the most points accumulated in this particular scoring category and where this particular card ranks. So you can do sort of like an internal audit on your own team just using the data that's displayed on the on OpenSea in this statistical category.
You waiting for me to come in here?
I was waiting for some sort of a color commentary comment on it, but I guess I can move on.
No, we're doing good, man. I love what you're doing, dude, and it's awesome. So all the things that we're doing here, we're always tinkering, right? So you're always going to see improvements. You're going to see things. So nothing here is final. Definitely, if there's any feedback from any of the teams or players, let us know. But love what you're doing, man. And it's the conversations that we've had offline with Team Juan for the money about some of the technical things that we can do here in our
I don't know if I'm frozen or if he's frozen. I'm going to pretend he is frozen and pick up the conversation. So Team Juan for the money stepping in, and we're talking about some really cool things to enhance the user experience behind the scenes here. I think it's hilarious that he's frozen the way he is right there. But once again, he kicked my ass this week, so I don't really have a lot of shit talking to say here. Linda, I'm going to rely on you to make a comment. Am I talking out of turn, or is John still frozen? Because it might be one of those scenarios where I'm frozen and I don't know it, and I'm talking over him without realizing it. Well, it looks like it's me. So I'm going to continue and just talk about the weekly winners, the ones who came up a yard short, as well as, the unfortunate loser here. So as John mentioned, Team Christikins eclipsed the 100-point mark. Obviously the 25 points in the win-loss that helped. But obviously the 5 interceptions and 5 turnovers put up by the Jacksonville Jaguars this week really was the defining answer. Not far behind was Mad Max, who also had Jacksonville. I guess came up a little short on the special teams front, and that's really what separated Christikins. So Mad Max will be getting that 1 free playing card this week for the 1 yard short trophy. Team Christikins will rake in 2. And then on the southern end of the equation, an unfortunate loss last night by the LA Rams really dropped Mafia Bills to the basement. But don't worry, Mafia Bills, you will also be getting 2 free playing cards. So the other stipulation this week, which did not pan out, was the fact if Houston and Las Vegas remained without a win, then then I guess everybody was going to get a free playing card. But it looks like the Raiders pulled out a very important division game, and they were able to, I guess, prevent everybody from getting that free playing card. So unfortunate for everybody there, but we do still have one unvictorious, I guess you can call it, team left in the league, and that would be Houston. So exciting to see all of the games play itself out. One of the key games that really stood out in my mind was actually Sunday with a bowl of Cheerios, where we had the Minnesota Vikings defeat the New Orleans Saints on a 60-yard field goal attempt that hit the upright twice. So we always made the joke on London games in the past that, for whatever reason, those games always come down to kicking, which is ironic considered it's in a soccer stadium. And, it didn't disappoint again. So once again, we have another London game coming up this week, and that's going to be the Giants and the Packers. So that's starting up again on Sunday at 9:30, and, excited to see where that all comes into play here. So exciting times for sure. We do have the 2 free playing cards heading out to the owners who have the Houston Texans on their owner's pass, just because they do not have a victory yet. So we're going to be making those airdrops soon hereafter, along with the few into free agency. Free agency pool will open by end of day today. And, just make sure, again, your lineups are set by the Thursday night game, which this week is the Colts at Denver, battle of the ponies. So we'll see what happens with that. Denver still hasn't improved their gameplay. Indianapolis, well, again, you're talking about a team that should be better on paper, but really hasn't shown up. It's so weird that Jacksonville is still on the top of that division, but then again, Tennessee kind of turned it around this week, and Houston's just going to be god-awful for the rest of the year, I feel. So, yeah, that's where things sit for the end of week 4, heading into week 5. So I have we were doing our little predictions over the last few weeks, which I've been getting annihilated at. I think my overall record is, 14-18. I'm not going to mention John's because, he is, I'm not going to give him the benefit of the doubt, but I have been putting together a little chart here where we can calculate each other's, decisions and what picks we have. So I'm going to run through the list, and, John, chime in here. If I don't hear your voice, I'm going to assume that you didn't pick anybody, and therefore you forfeit the week. So Indianapolis and Denver, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say Indianapolis wins that. John? Nothing? Okay, no problem. So 0 points for you on that one. Giants and Green Bay over in London. I think that Aaron Rodgers is definitely coming into form for the season, even though his haircut is a little weird. Giants really look strong on the ground game, and Daniel Jones is really taking up the reins of being a mobile quarterback. Their defense has stepped up a little bit. I don't know if going over the pond is going to assist with that. I'm gonna stick with Green Bay on this one, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's some crazy magic that happens over there and the Giants end up pulling that one out. But that's a win-loss card I would steer clear of for sure. John, who's your pick on that one? Nobody? Okay, 0 points for you on that one again. Moving on to Atlanta and Tampa. Now, this one on paper is definitely one-sided, although Tampa has lost the last 2 games. They are playing at home, and it is a division game, which always makes me a little scared. But it is Brady, and I think that with a healthy receiving core, which looks like they're starting to come back with, I think that they're still a dangerous team. Atlanta's without Cordero Patterson. He's on the I guess intermediate IR where he's out. He's going to be out for a few weeks. So I really think that Tampa's going to win that game. John? Nothing? Okay. 0 points for you on that one too. The Bears and Vikings. Now, again, another division game. The Bears didn't disappoint in the way that their gameplay was against the Giants. Everybody kind of anticipated that they were not going to pull that one out. Minnesota looked good against the Saints, but, then again, I'm giving the Saints a lot more credit than I guess they deserve. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say that Minnesota wins this game just on the fact that, they're finally breaking through. Last year, they were a team that couldn't close.
But this is like your.
There you are. What's up, man?
This is like your Tom Brady moment. I can't let you have this. This is like Drew Bledsoe getting taken out. Brady comes in. Next thing you know, he's Tom Brady. Who the hell is Drew Bledsoe? Internet's out. Here I am. It actually got better now because I'm not like breaking up. I was like off my game. But I'm not going to let you have this, man. And I heard the picks that you were making. So. Here I am, dude, but I call you
okay.
Tom now.
Well, I mean, you can definitely jump in now. Unfortunately, in the interest of time, we had to move on, so we can't backtrack on those picks. But love the fact that you decided to switch to the mobile service and join back in. That's cool.
Internet's out, man. I don't know if I didn't pay the bill. I don't know if the landscaper hit it, but I do know the phone works. I was desperately trying to get back on here, so here I am, man.
You don't know if I came up there last night with some hedge clippers and cut some cables. Either way. All right. Well, I was in the middle of ranting about the Bears and Vikings. Who you got this week for that?
This is your Tanya Harding, Nancy Kerrigan moment, I guess. Why? The Bears and who? I can't see the screen of the usual. Now I'm on my phone. It's even worse.
Bears and Vikings.
Vikings are going to take that. I got the Bears losing. Yes, Bears losing.
Got it. All right, so we have the winless Texans at Jacksonville. Jacksonville's played some tough games, including against Philly this week. I mean, look, Philly's 4-0. Jacksonville's kind of, gave them a little scare, even though they had 5 turnovers. I mean, Philly's defense is not that bad. In fact, they're one of the best in the league at this point. But Jacksonville definitely gave them a run for their money. I mean, I don't think that Jacksonville is the shit team that we kind of perceive them to be at the beginning of the season. So I think Houston remains unvictorious, and I think Houston loses that game.
Yeah, it sucks because it looked like the Jacksonville. I mean, they had the best offensive card this week, but it looks like Jacksonville's going to be win-loss card is going to be awesome. Hasn't really panned out that well if they win this week. So it's almost like a bye week. You got to have another card to play there for teams like Houston.
So who are you going with?
I said Houston's losing. Yeah.
Houston's losing?
Yeah.
I don't think you did, but
are we keeping track of this stuff?
We'll review it in the replay. Chargers at Browns. I think Cleveland did not play well against Atlanta. Cleveland relies heavily on their running game, and when Brissett starts throwing the ball, man, it becomes question marks. So there's signs all over Cleveland. Just keep running the ball, and I think if they stick to that game plan, they really control the game, and they're dangerous like that. The Chargers kind of bounce back this week as well. So who you got in this one?
Yeah, now Chargers going to take that one, I believe. So
I got Chargers losing.
You got Chargers losing.
Yep.
Oh, all right. I would bet that. I would bet you something if you had anything here.
What were you about to make fun of me about?
I was going to make fun of you. I was actually going to ask you a very vain question. Like, how bad did I freeze and at what point? And with how long was I on screen? Did I have like the weirdest closed eyes, mouth open face?
No, I mean, you'll see it on the replay, but like you were kind of in the corner and you had an arm like this. And, I was like, oh, look at that guy over here. So at first I pointed the wrong way, so I had to shift it. But it wasn't the best freezing pose. There could have been better, and I think it could have been funnier. But anyway, so Miami and the Jets. Here we go. Miami coming off a loss at the defending AFC champion Cincinnati team, who were wearing, I guess, white Bengal Tiger colors. And the Jets obviously coming out of Pittsburgh with the win. Sorry, Linda. Which one you got here, man? You think the Jets continue the trend, or you think they get brought back to reality with a Dolphins team that you weren't sold on as of last week? So I'm curious where you think.
That's a tough one, dude. That's a super tough one. I think the Jets probably win it. I'm definitely not sold on the Dolphins. Who can be at this point? I don't know.
I'm going with the Jets losing, even though they're playing at home. I think Miami's too good of a team to lose back-to-back games, let alone a division game against the Jets. So,
right.
Pittsburgh and Buffalo. Here you go, Linda. This is a good win-loss card to play this week.
Linda should have jumped up on here, called to the bench, come in here. She would have been way better. I would have lost my job
if I had the controls, I would have definitely replaced you, man.
Yep.
Bledsoe in be a distant memory.
Yeah. Pittsburgh's playing who?
Pittsburgh is at
Bills?
Buffalo.
Oh, yeah. Definitely Steelers are losing that game, unfortunately.
Yep. And that would be a great card to play. Do I have one? No, I don't. I might have to get my hands on one.
Wait. So, what do you have? Let me see what you have mapped out on your wall. What you have?
Yeah, I have like a little graph, and I have which ones I have starting, what the odds are of them playing, the token IDs. Like I have my own little system that I don't want to disclose quite yet.
Well, good.
But clearly it's not working.
That's what I was going to say. It's the wrong system of some sort. So don't be sharing that stuff. Get sued or something.
Yeah, I know. This is not financial or lineup advice. Trust me.
What place are you in now?
I'm moving up a little bit, actually. Was I in 51st place last week? Let's see. The overall standings. I think I'm in 43rd. So, I had a decent enough week. I wasn't near Christikins or the top or anything, but I think this week I pulled out. What did I pull out? Let's see. Pull out is a dangerous term to say on Trash Talk Tuesday because I'll get.
Why are you the one that froze up? Why didn't you get froze up there?
25th overall. So a little bit more than on the better side of the halfway point. The offense and the penalties killed me, man. Penalties I only got two points for. So disciplined football by Dallas, which was surprising because Dallas is notorious for having flags all over the place.
Yep. What's the next one? What's the next game? Are we done?
No, we're not. Seattle is playing the Saints in New Orleans.
The Saints in New Orleans. I would say New Orleans will lose.
At home, huh? I've picked them the last 3 weeks, man, and they've killed me. I don't know if this is the week where I don't or what, but
I feel like there's got to be some stakes here between you and I for this week anyway. Especially, I need to go back and look at what you picked, and I need to put my picks on the record. But I feel like there should be some stakes.
Well, those picks are already like 0, so I will take up any offer you want at this point. And you're going to have a three game handicap as part of losing. So how confident are you in the rest of your picks?
I'm not confident at all with any of them. I don't think anybody can be this year, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. Of all, you look at the teams that you have, you think you're set because you have the Jets win-loss card, you have Houston win-loss card. You think you have some options here, but there's been some tricky ones to play. Atlanta is winning. So those are what I have. Giants is friggin' winning, for crying out loud.
Yep. Who would have thunk? Who would have thunk? But this is cool because now, the ones that you kind of stocked up on the first month of the season, this month is usually like one of the defining months of the traditional football season where, the teams start to separate themselves from the top of the standings. It's a good opportunity to, just stash some of those potential cards that you thought weren't valuable at the beginning of the year and, start bringing them into your starting lineup. So I think that'll be cool to see. But speaking of, shit teams, Tennessee is at Washington. I think this is another great card to play as part of win-loss. I think Tennessee has really turned it around since getting annihilated in Buffalo. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say Washington loses this game.
Washington loses this game. I would agree as well. I do not like this layout. I brought us a little closer here. So I think the layout was a little bit better, but I would say Washington is losing that game. And if anybody has a Washington win-loss or a Bears win-loss, I'd be open to make some deals. I haven't seen who does yet, but I was able to make an epic 5-card trade last week.
Yeah, I saw that. You want to talk about that real quick?
Yeah, man. I had thrown out there in the Telegram chat that I was willing to get rid of my diamond background. Not that I wanted to, but the backgrounds here there's utility attached to it. So I wanted other people to experience it. I randomly minted one, so just the bad luck and the good luck in that case that I had. So I put out there that I wanted to make a trade. Blackhammer, who's got the most cards in the league, we made a trade where I gave him my Detroit defense diamond epic fail background, which Detroit's defense had the most points. So it worked out great, and my defense sucked this week. I gave him that, and I gave him a Philadelphia win-loss record. Who would have thought? I thought that was a good card to snag earlier. It was not. I traded him those two for a Denver penalties with a rarely good background, and then I got the win-loss Jets and win-loss Houston. So gave up the diamond background, which is
authorize me to share screen. I have it pulled up here just so that people can follow along.
I've never done this on my phone, as you can tell. I don't. Let me see here. It says I have to authorize you.
Well, I'm sharing it. It's not showing, so.
All right. Layout done. I don't know, man. Keep talking while I knock it out.
I hope this freezes your phone and I can continue on the standings and then I win by default again.
This part is easy, man. You'll definitely be able to beat me there. I can't figure it out.
That's all right. It's in our Telegram channel. If you're not joined on Telegram, then he did lose. All right, let's keep it going. So San Fran and Carolina. I'm going to go with. I like what I saw out of San Fran. Not liking what I'm seeing out of Carolina, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick Carolina to lose at home. John? Nothing? Okay. So 0 points for you on that one. And let me continue before internet gets restored on his end. So Dallas at the Rams. I think this is going to be a good game. I think, LA played horrible last night on prime time, but then again, they're not really the best when it comes to playing San Francisco historically, at least in the most recent past. This could be a bounce back game. There's talk of Dak coming back. And if Dak does end up coming back, then, I think that it could either disrupt some of the things that Cooper Rush has done or, keeps. Oh, there you are.
You are playing this masterful, dude. You are sabotaging me. You got me on the phone, and then you got me trying to change the layout. So then I get off. I delete myself from there. But then I saw the internet was back.
This is Unfantasy Football.
Yes.
You got to man up a little bit here.
I just heard Carolina. So I heard you say Carolina. So in the interest of just keeping it, I'm going to go the opposite. Who's the other team? Who's Carolina playing?
San Fran.
Okay.
I said Carolina is losing, by the way.
Yeah, I guess I can't do that. I'm going to say Carolina's losing as well. What's funny is that when we were chatting with Mafia Bill's team, we were saying like, hey, if the Niners lose, or if the Niners win, then and beat the Rams, then you're going to be in last place. I didn't think that was going to happen, and they smoked them. So just never know.
They looked horrible.
Yeah,
absolutely, like god awful. Like they giving up
This
big
live
run
stream.
plays. That's not like the Rams defense.
We are like the Rams defense. I am like the Rams defense. You're like the Detroit defense right now, right? Or the Jacksonville offense compared to me with this stream, my technical sabotage that you've been giving me. But this is the trade, man. So that epic fail background, which again, the epic fail backgrounds are the rare ones. There's utility attached that. Last week we gave everybody with that a Battle Bunny. If you had the rarest of the rare, the creamsicles, they actually got Genesis Collection Battle Bunnies, which is cool. So I didn't want to give that up, but I do want other people to experience some of these cool things that we have with the backgrounds. But I playing the game, man. I thought I was golden with Houston win loss and the Jets win loss. Jets won. Houston almost came back and won, and I would not have been happy whatsoever if that happened.
I feel like you saw the lineup that I set, and I had Houston, and then you just decided that you were going to go get that one. But
I got to go get it.
Black Hammer got a solid card, man. Not only is it the diamond background, the epic background, but you're talking about only 3 teams have the epic background, right? There's Detroit, there's Cleveland, and then there's Tampa. And this is actually a combo of Detroit and Cleveland. So like, rare, but definitely one of the rarer of the rare, with having the 2, perfect season teams on the same NFT.
Yep. Say goodbye to Linda. She's bouncing. It's all over the place. Last time we chatted with her, she's somewhere globetrotting. Now she's going off to Nashville. So she's a YouTube star, by the way. So check out the YouTube channel, subscribe as she's doing her thing there. And she says Panthers, which I don't know who the heck the Panthers are, but maybe that's a hockey team. Maybe like an ECHL
Maybe it's
team.
just a team that keeps running and is out of breath. They keep panting. But anyway, Linda, always a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us as always, and safe travels. We'll talk soon.
Cool.
So Dallas and Rams, man, we were talking about the Rams defense. Definitely shit the bed yesterday. Made Garoppolo look like an all-star. Kittle pissed me off. He had like a couple pass attempts, but he had that one in the end zone that his foot was out of bounds. Other than that, he was just basically in a blocking role. And I thought for sure he's going to have a bigger role in that type of game, but I think they're playing it safe with him.
Yep.
But you think the Rams bounce back at home against Dallas, or you think Dallas rides this train even if Dak comes back?
I think Dallas loses. I think Dallas loses that one. I have that win-loss card too. It's tough to play that though. Jeez.
Yeah, on the road in LA, Rams coming off a division loss. You know what, man? I have Dallas beating the Rams. Why not? Even though I hate Dallas so much. Philly and Arizona. I think this might be a shootout, man. Philly's defense is strong, but I think Arizona has proved that they can make some damage happen offensively. I think we're inching towards, I guess, DeAndre Hopkins being eligible to return too, aren't we? I think he comes back week 6 or week 9.
You just said, aren't we? Like you had a Scottish accent for a second. I don't know if you're having a stroke or you're just watching DuckTales.
Sorry, top of mind is Asher. So I had, a little screw up there. I thought he would be here to join us, but unfortunately he bailed because his record was worse than mine in picks this week. So anyway, I have Philly staying, undefeated and torturing our unfantasy team owners. I have Arizona losing that game.
What is Taylor Peterson talking about? Big fan of lo-fi, big BG tunes. I don't know. Are we playing tunes we don't even know it? Or just getting spammed?
Background. I hate everything is acronyms now. It took Peyton about 14 minutes to explain what sus is to me. And I feel like I'm beyond old that I can't figure out what sus is on my own. But I feel like I have, anytime I chat with Taylor, she's always talking in, just initials. And I have no idea I have to Google what initials are. Anyway, who you got, Eagles or Cards? Battle of the Birds.
I would say Eagles can't be this good, can they? And I just put Lo-Fi on here. She was going crazy. She probably had 2 windows open. Or maybe she was just trying to like polite, like you have something on your face type of polite, and say like, hey, you guys are boring. Put some background music on it so the dead air doesn't work. I would say,
or she was just asking for the music, so I stopped talking like it's the Oscars.
Oh no, dude, I'm the problem on this one. So she's trying to watch this train wreck and help me out, which I appreciate very much so. And hopefully this lo-fi can chill me out a little bit. I would say Philadelphia is going to lose.
How confident are you in that?
I'm not confident with anything at all. I'm just not confident. I'm just as confident as if my internet is going to jump out in the next 3 minutes or not.
All right, so let's spice it up a little bit, and let's, obviously we're in a league where we want people to suck and we want people, these teams to fail. If Philly does lose, what could we offer the poor Philadelphia owners pass holders who have not received any free playing cards or anything like that all season because, Philly hasn't lost yet. So if Philly loses the game, what are we going to give those owners?
Definitely anybody that, as soon as the first loss, they're going to get, anybody has a Philly owner pass is going to get one, which I think is it, who's the one, what are the teams that have them? It's not keeping up with the Joneses is one of them, I think.
Yeah. And then keeping up with the Joneses. Let's see, keeping up with the Joneses is one of them, and the other one is actually it's not minted yet.
Oh, we go.
So this would be keeping up with the Joneses chance. But I know we've given it, but here we are, week 4. Heading into week 5. I'm going to say we double the prize if Philly loses this week. And we send keeping up with the Joneses 2 playing cards. And, hopefully.
All right. Only if he's listening, right? That's the thing, right? So we hid this in here. If he hears this, then done deal. That would be what I'd say. So
perfect. All right. That's a good one. And he'll have to hit us up on the Telegram channel to verify that he heard that we were talking about him.
Yeah, I'll put the Telegram link in the description, as these YouTubers say these days. What's cool about the owner's pass is they all have an icon on it, and those are randomly generated too. So you'll have the number owner's pass that you are, and that's just the sequential order. But then you also get the a random logo. So what's cool is every 32 times, there's 32 teams in the NFL. There's only one team that's going to show up in that 32 order. So once we get to 64. We're going to be able to do some really cool things. It's going to be a really cool weekly game that we can put within the game with either going against each other. There's a lot of cool things that we're chatting about, but where are we at now? We're at 57. So we need where's my math? 5 more or 7 more to get to that. And then when we do, that'll be a fun weekly game where you will have 2 Philadelphia icon owners passes at that point once we get there.
Yep. And, the bigger this gets, and again, this is just the beginning, right? So the bigger this gets, the more people pop in here, the more of these owner passes, get out there, the more duplicated teams there will be. We can actually create more additional games within the game where we start breaking people down into different divisions, different leagues within the league, obviously an overall league, which is still there, but this is a little down the road. Again, this is the type of league where you don't have to join just at the beginning of the year. You can pop in at any point. We had somebody join actually at halftime last night or during the game last night. And because they joined the league, they were eligible to compete in the week 4 standings. So therefore, he was able to accumulate the points and jump into the standings and make the running for the week 4 title. Obviously, he didn't do that because Team Christikins won. But all the points that those playing cards in his starter pack have accumulated from the beginning of the season are now added to his point total on his owner's pass.
Yes, well said. Do you want to mint some of the free agency pool now?
Yeah, we got 2 more games to run through for the week,
right.
so we might as well just cap this off, and then we'll
do a
just
speed round
bounce in.
of that.
Cincinnati, Baltimore.
Cincinnati loses.
I'm gonna go with Baltimore losing.
Yeah, they've given up some big leads the last couple games.
Yeah, and the turnovers are killing them, man. So maybe that's a good offensive card to play indirectly. But the last one is
do we know? I'll look that up. I'll look up that while you do that. I want to see how many points that offensive card has.
Vegas and Kansas City is the Monday night game.
Yeah, Vegas is going to lose that, right? There's no way.
I don't know about no way. That is the oldest rivalry in American Football League.
Is it though?
In the American Football League, yeah, the AFL. They date back a long, long time when Kansas City was actually in Dallas, of all places, and the Raiders never had a home until now, so they were bouncing all over the place. They got kicked out of LA. They were in Oakland, then back to LA, then back to Oakland. So anyway, you're picking KC to win. I mean,
yep. Vegas to lose.
I can't go against Mahomes after what I saw him do to Tampa this week. So I'm with you on that one. I think Vegas is going to lose, and they're going to drop to 1-4.
Kansas City always said, no matter how good Kansas City is, they always have some game that they just suck ass in the year, which is crazy. It's the worst, the least one that you would expect.
Well, it happened 2 weeks ago with the Colts,
right?
I mean, I don't think anybody predicted that one. In fact, I think I saw a couple win-loss cards get played because of that, and some people ate the bullet on that one.
The total offense, which if I'm reading this correctly in the stats in OpenSea, so I found a Ravens offense, and it is 58.1 of 102. So 102 being the highest overall offense card, and 58.1 being where they have. So a little bit better than average, but obviously it's a week-to-week type thing, and they've definitely had some bad games the last 2 weeks.
Well, that says a lot for the turnover comment, right? Because this is a team where, Lamar Jackson is vying for arguably the MVP candidate at this point. Some other people are mentioning, a few other names in that pool, but I think he's hands down the best player on that team. And the reason why they are either in those games or producing in those games, but they're not shy on putting up a lot of points. So that high point total on that offensive card is due to those turnovers. So if they keep up that trend, who knows what could happen.
And I don't know who the heck has those cards, because their owner's pass isn't in the same wallet. I don't even know who it is, but we'll find out.
We will find out. We will definitely find out here. So, all right, what did you want to run through?
It's mint, man. That's
free
the coolest
agency?
thing. Yeah, it's mint.
Awesome.
Some free agency. So again, every Tuesday, last week, as always, I always have at least one blunder here. Today I had like 15 blunders. It was like my KC versus the Colts. But last week I missed it. But usually on Trash Talk Tuesdays, we'll try to mint the free agency pool, kind of put some fresh cards in there. We get a little bit clearer picture of we think of how the season is going. So I always enjoy seeing what's happening. These are going to be minted, randomly generated out there. Mike and I, or first and 70.3. And I always forget the points. Is it 2 or 3? 70.3. And nothing but fumbles myself. We will not be eligible for these things until Thursday. So anybody has
what time on Thursday? Just for the record here.
We've
been doing 2:00, but last week you were an hour off. So
yeah. I mean, I feel really good with my team, so I'll probably be standing still unless something. Well, let's see. Let's see what gets minted here, and pretend it's not good for the one person that's watching this. If it gets minted.
All right,
so what's the process here? What do we do?
We're at 531 right now in existence. How many cards of each category? What number do you want the total to be at after this free agency drop?
Just put this up to 550 even.
Yep, we could do that.
That helps.
Let's just make sure that I have the correct amount. So we're going to be minting 19 cards to free agency. And that's going to be something to keep an eye on because I have no idea what those cards are going to be. And who knows, there might be a rare background somewhere in that mix.
Well, now people are gonna, if there is, now people are gonna think you know what the heck is in there. And you said it. You said a little suspicious, man.
Maybe not. I don't know. I want people to follow along and make sure that they see it. Now, just for fairness, just so you guys realize, we mint this live here. They will not be up for sale until they get imported into the actual website as well. That way, so people who are not playing in the Web3 space have an equal opportunity to purchase the playing cards. So all that will be done by the end of the day today for sure. I just want people to realize that even though we're minting them now and revealing them, they will not become available until the store is up and running, and then we basically release them for sale simultaneously. I hope that made sense.
Yep, it makes sense. And I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just texting back with OG Ozzy, who's working on some new logos for us. So I'm just trying to get back to him because we're 12-hour time difference. Dude, get to bed,
awesome.
Man. It's early or late.
OG Ozzy knocking out another batch, huh?
Yeah, we got some cool things, man.
Hope you deleted your browsing history after that conversation. It's a little alpha on some of the ones that are coming here. So
I'm not sharing.
All right. Am I sharing yet or what?
Yes, you are now.
Awesome. All right. Well, we are going to mint the 19 to the free agency locker at this moment. And then we will smash the refresh button until all of them get revealed here. And they have successfully been minted. So we're going to confirm that we're at 550. We are at 550. Alrighty. So let's head over to our free agency. Well, let's just do it this way. Let's check out the playing cards and let's see which ones have been received. Alrighty. So let's check it out. This might be a little boring, so I'm going to require you to fill some dead air space in the meantime.
Yeah, dude, I'm not going to be good at that today. But what are we looking at here? Oh, so you're just refreshing the metadata. So it's been minted out there, and yeah, when doubt, man, you just go and talk about what you're doing. And I don't know what the hell you're doing. You can speak to that way better than me.
Yeah, of course, man. So what we do is that all of the stats and everything is really already imported into the back end of the collection. So when a token gets minted, it gets minted with all of the metadata already. So what we need to do is we need to refresh the tokens so that they start to appear on the interface of OpenSea. So everything is already on chain. Everything is already exists on the blockchain. Now we're just trying to pull it into this particular marketplace where we can see the analytics. We can see the cards. As you can see, they slowly but surely pop up after a while.
Cool.
Looks like we got a Packers penalties and a Minnesota defensive card.
Is that Minnesota?
That could be an interesting one.
What's the background on the Minnesota one?
It looks like it's a full set, man.
Yes.
It's a Minnesota background and a Minnesota playing card.
Yep. So full sets meaning the same logo as the same team background equals a full set. These are just random, right? So there's not like someone put this thing specifically together. So to actually get a background, I just got a notification on my phone that says, get ready for live stream on Fantasy Football. So that's how in 10 minutes. So I'm still an hour off and still out of it. But the full sets are there's going to be some utility to that. There's going to be some prizes, if you will, or some reason to have it. Some of them just look cool. I mean, I feel like the San Francisco card just on any dark background looks badass.
I mean, I'm a really big fan of those dark backgrounds. I think we have 4 of them: Carolina, Pittsburgh, Atlanta, and Carolina,
Ravens,
Pittsburgh, Atlanta.
Ravens.
and the Ravens, yeah, and all of them really make the cards and the logos really pop. So I don't know. A part of me wants to just keep buying these cards for the art side of it, and maybe the game will play itself out. But I'm just a really big fan of some of the. Here's the second string logo.
Okay.
There we go. Cleveland
Nice.
and the Saints background.
So second string logos. Some teams are so bad you get to make fun of them twice. We have some logos. Some teams done. We have the Giants as a second string logo. There's 2 logos. We have the Browns, obviously. We have the Lions. We have the Dolphins. And
Here's a pretty good one.
I think that's it.
For all the Packers fans out there. I mean, this is a Detroit Lions card on the Packers background.
Uncommonly bad.
Yeah, uncommonly bad background. So that's a really cool one to pick up. It's a win-loss card too. So
if I don't think it's out there yet, but if we ever got a Green Bay logo on uncommonly bad Green Bay cheesy, that would be amazing. That would be obviously a full set, which is different level, and I think it would look legit.
I think they all look legit, man.
Yeah.
I mean, the only ones that I just really hate the way they look are the ones that are in your starting lineup. So.
Yep. I'm consistent.
Yeah, some of them take a little longer to update here.
Sometimes it'll show what it is on the bottom still, right?
Yep. So sometimes the details will pop up because it can I guess translate better or faster than the actual image. These are high quality images, man. We throw in for everybody. These aren't Mickey Mouse pixelated little caricatures. So here we go. Looks like it's updating now. Oh, there you go. Steelers background and Baltimore foreground. I mean, look at that, man. Just everything on that dark background makes it pop.
And you can
of course, this doesn't prove our point, right? Because in this case, the image came up before the metadata, but I'm sure if I refresh it, there you go.
I was going to say, because you can see the points here with this card is given so far, right?
Yep. So out of 64, which is the top producing card in the collection, this one has accumulated 23 points so far. So roughly in the middle of the pack. And, that's, again, the backgrounds don't factor into the scoring at this point. So that's all really relegated on the actual playing card itself. So win-loss Raiders. That might be a pretty important one for someone to scoop up this week playing Kansas City.
And win-loss Niners looks like too, right?
Yeah, win-loss Niners. That's the Carolina background that we saw earlier.
Who did we see? Who did we say was playing them? A team?
Ironically, Carolina.
Right.
So there's a full set for this week's game. That'll be interesting, and maybe that'll factor into the scoring system at some point throughout the year. Who knows?
Yeah, not scoring system yet with that stuff, but we'll give it. I still think it should get something, man. Anybody with that card. I mean, I don't know. I should not say this because if I have no clue what how many there are. But if you have a card that let's just do it, right? If you have a card with the background and the logo of teams that are playing this week, let's what do we want to give? We want to give some merch. We want to give it a T-shirt.
Yeah, we can give a T-shirt. Well, does the card have to perform specifically to the background, or just have the card in their possession?
I think just in their possession, right? Because if you have some of these games, you might not want to play them. But I think one of the things we're trying to make was that the Patriots background.
Yeah,
the Rams, cool. One of the things that we're always conscious of doing here is you have your game and your game mechanics, but just realizing that you could have the team or the card that gives you the worst points, but there's still reason to have them based on the other layers that we have, whether it's utility or rewards from the backgrounds or the combinations of this thing. So at any point, if you have a New York Giants background and a New York Jets logo, then there could be something New York related from there. So there are some cool combinations that we've jotted down some ideas that keep some of these cards, even if they're not performing well.
Yeah.
Or put them up on the free agency market, right? Anybody here can put their cards up for sale and just add to the pool here of options for people.
Yeah, look at this, man. So there's a few different options for playing those cards on teams that are playing in week 5. So the Giants drew the Packers in the win-loss column.
Wow.
So if you're up for the Packers winning in London on Sunday morning football, this would be a good one to scoop up and potentially nice second string logo, Packers background. They are playing each other, so maybe that's a good one to scoop up this week as well. And then, the Carolina-San Fran game. I think that was it from what I saw. Is this a full set too? No, this is Atlanta. This would have been good for last week.
Yeah, it does kind of look like a full set a little bit. The Ravens background kind of hard to see sometimes with my eyes with it, but it does that. Anything dark looks fire. I'm after Icky Shuffle background just because of the way they look. I'm after Seattle. I love Seattle colors. That background looks amazing on any card.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the step and repeat uncommonly bad backgrounds myself, man. I think that the variety gives more options with the combinations on the teams. I'm on the hunt for some of those, the epic ones, of course, but I don't think I'm going to score any of those unless I start minting, tremendous amounts of them. But I mean, that one just stands out amongst all of them, right?
Yep. Can we see if there's so people can search here like who like the Seattle, right? So let's see if there's a full set Seattle out there anywhere.
All right, so let's search for the team card. You can just come down here and click on Seattle, which of course is at the bottom.
You can see all the Seattle.
And let's see here. So it doesn't look like one has been surfaced yet.
What is the bottom left corner?
That's Miami.
Oh, got it. So yeah, maybe one won't surface because they're not guaranteed to happen. But
this is a good way to search for the teams that are playing this week and take you up on that offer.
Yep. What's your biggest lock here for the week? And you can search for that. It's
my biggest lock for the week, which is probably not one to ride to the bank because I've been doing horrible at these picks. I'd have to say that I'd say Buffalo over Pittsburgh has to be a lock, man. I don't see Pittsburgh. I mean, unless they make some drastic moves this week at quarterback, which they've already talked about, and that kid comes out flying. But I don't see Buffalo. I think Buffalo needs a game where they can just kind of like steamroll, and I think this is a good week to do it in.
So, Pittsburgh, right? What's available for Pittsburgh?
I just wanted to, here you go. So this is a good one. It's actually for sale as well. On the free agent market, but the Saints are playing the Seahawks, and here you go with the combination background, and it's one of the rarer ones in the collection too. So, all right, let's look at Pittsburgh. You said,
yeah. Jeremiah Osusudio team has got my favorite looking card in the whole collection there. With that sticky shuffle and its division rival, but it just looks fire, man. It looks legit,
and it's a win-loss. So he's been raking in the points with that one for sure.
Yeah, I put it in the Telegram chat, man. And then when Pittsburgh lost, it's the old logo that we had with Pittsburgh, where it was somebody like holding the tarot that says "terrible." I feel like we need to make like a yellow towel that just says "terrible" on it. But then I don't know if people get that we're making fun of it. So I have to figure out making sure that people do understand it's a parody.
Yeah, I don't know how we do that. Maybe the score underneath it or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just a famous score or something. I don't know.
We didn't use this one. It's become one of my favorite logos, the real Pittsburgh one. We didn't use this one. This was the first attempt because we were like, well, it's not. Can't really tell that you're making fun of them. But this was our first iteration. We have lots of iterations of things, and things that they take some time and some research to that goes into these things to find it, as I hope, nervous that you're pulling up your screen on the chats that we had, because I had to do some research on coming up with a funny hockey logo, which I think is going to be funny.
Yeah, that's the one where I hope you cleared your browser last night when you were doing some content research on that one. But we'll leave that Easter egg hidden for a little bit. Any other teams you want to seek out here before
now it is
hogging the screen?
Nah, man. What one thing is good is
pun intended.
I don't know what you're talking about. One thing that is cool that I always come in here and do with any collection, really, but obviously ours too, is I will go through the backgrounds, right? So you can see, if you're curious about like understanding what the backgrounds are, you can see what all the common ones, obviously the uncommon ones. You can see what's out there and what the variations are. You can see the rarely good, which is the silver ones, and then you can see these epic fail, blunder as well. And these are the ones that are currently minted. Again, all of these ones got battle bunnies, the creamsicles, which there's only ever going to be maximum 5 of this, probably less, but at most 5. The creamsicles with the icon there. They got Genesis Spartans, which is legit and no joke because there's only 300 of those. One thing that's really cool, man, and I hope I'm getting it across, and we certainly will as we go, is when we give other NFTs away for giveaways or prizes, essentially you get their utilities. So Battle Bunnies as a giveaway. Now, the people that won that for having the either winning in last week's game or having the diamond background, they have access to live streams of Frank and Crystal Linatra. So there's art classes they can go to. They can be part of the community that wrote the first ever community written novel. It's a storytelling franchise. They get there's always sticker packs and a ton of utility and merch and stuff that the Battle Bunnies are giving out. So as we give away utilities, it stacks and stacks and stacks. So the value really cascades as we give these things out. So, and we're only working with projects that we feel are like we have ourselves in a lot of ways at this point too. So Battle Bunnies, everybody knows we're all in on that. VSP, we were both, you and I both early in on that. We love that project.
I love that project, man. I think that what they've done in the NFT space and linking it to sports is a game changer.
You almost froze there, unless it was me, and it looks like I'm freezing.
No, it was you, because I felt that my sentence was continuous and I didn't break up. So,
well, we better break this shit up then, man, because I'm ruining the whole thing.
That's all right. At least you didn't pull up the baseball schedule this week, so you're improving, man.
Well, what's good? That's right. You got a lot of material now, so I anticipate you to get to Asher before I get to Asher this week, because you got like epic fail blunders of me with this live stream.
I don't know, man. You left me on an island trying to save the sinking boat here, and I was talking to myself for a little bit, so I felt like Ron Burgundy reading the teleprompter. But
you did good. A bunch of the times I was in backstage because I had to go on my phone, but it didn't recognize me as an admin, so I was backstage trying to get up and listen to you in that world. So you did a really good job with it. So next week will be better. Be more prepared. I feel like what's that meme kid that was the hell was he? He was like reading the sports news. What did he say? The kid that is a funny boom goes the dynamite.
Oh yeah.
I feel like that's what I've been like today, right? Just getting on here and then just boom goes the dynamite. So here we go.
It's all good, man. It's all fun. I love ripping on you even when you're not here.
More content for Asher to make a better intro next week. So there you go, man. Great shit. And I'll see you again back here ahead of you in the standings next week.
Yep. Free agency opens later on today. Make sure your lineups are set for Thursday. And then once again, a quick reminder, Sunday football starts at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time, since we do have another London game on the schedule. So it's going to start a little earlier. And I guess, what did Asher eat for cereal?
I don't remember that.
What did he call it? Aluminium O's or something?
No, there was their version of Wheaties, but it was something I never even heard of. So
yeah, don't just stick with Cheerios, man.
Yep, stick with Cheerios, man. Cheerio. We'll see ya.
All right, guys.